Grimm didn't tighten the tank, any of the fittings on it.
Well, how do you know?
Because you just said so.
What's going on, man?
What's up, Mike?
How you doing, buddy? My man, holy cow. It's always an amazing experience coming down to the shop. To see the progress that Suppy and the team has made, it always boggles my mind because 1 week you come down, you got half a car. Then you got 3/4 of a car. And we're getting to the point where we have literally 11 days left. When I say we, I mean they have 11 days left to get this thing fully together and then start to test and tune it, because then the truck picks it up from Huntington Beach and then ships it out to Michigan so we can go to roadkill nights. You cut the firewall.
Yep.
Moved it back.
We made some tanks, we made radiator. I'm disassembling the rear turbo housings now so we can weld a different type of V-band to it to make the exhaust. Well, by exhaust, I mean we're just gonna have 2 4-inch tubes that come straight out of here.
This way, when we're running down the strip, we can see the flames coming back through the window to our face.
Yeah.
Perfect. Dude, this is gonna be rad. There's still a lot of stuff that has to be done. The rear's not in the car. The cage is still being fabricated. Fuel system, while the fuel tank is in there, the coolant tank isn't there yet. So there's so much more stuff that has to be completed to get this thing, well, down the track. Then there's the other part of literally driving it and making sure it tracks straight and everything goes the right way. We still have to get the wheels and the tires and all this other stuff.
We're at that point where we're starting to look at fluids and how everything goes together. So plumbing is key. The last thing we have to set before we start our plumbing is the brake pedal.
Okay.
Alex is on that now. And then we do the brakes, coolant, we do fuel, and we're done.
I'm excited. I'm a little gun shy until I get behind the wheel of it, but I know it's gonna be great. And I do fear for everybody else that's gonna race us, because I think they're gonna be in for a shock when this little wide body Hornet goes ripping by them. It's gonna be badass.
Getting to work making the brake pedal mount. It's gotta go here. We got a bunch of stuff in the way. We got the steering column in the way. It's a son of a gun. I'm planning to make a little box, sort of make it more universal, and then make mounts coming off of this onto a piece on the firewall for support this way, and then coming up to the knee bar for support this way. So this is gonna mount right underneath the steering column. That's gonna hold it in place. And then I'll shoot off another plate through the back of the firewall, and that'll keep it from moving forward and backwards.
Angelo just finished cutting and bending the loop for the 4-link in the back. Why this is important is because now with the solid rear axle, the drive shaft moves up and down with the suspension travel. Whereas before it was a cradle and independent rear suspension, and the center section stayed to where it was, and then the arms moved. Essentially, we have to compensate and make some more room for the travel of the drive shaft.
So we got the hoop welded together and blended, and now we're gonna basically mark center for our 4-link bars, and we're gonna cut them out and basically fit this hoop in so the drive shaft can now pass through and go to our rear end. If I notch too much on these tubes when I'm fitting up this hoop, it's gonna kind of destroy Grimm's 4-link and his brace. So I need to kind of like go real slow at this, because we could like always cut off more. We can't add any more tube back.
Got the brake pedal assembly all ready to go. As it goes, I made these the exact size, so it's a little hard to get, but we'll persevere. It's so perfect. It's so perfect and difficult.
You know how they keep Igor in a tower and like nobody lets him out because he's ugly but he's useful? We got one of those. We got a Bucky. So in between that huge mess of stuff that he's got going on at his table here, the Ritz crackers and all that, he's wiring up our ignition system. Everything is controlled through that. So basically it's push on, push off, right?
What he said.
Yeah. So that's why we leave Bucky by himself. Angela is now tasked with making an intake for the 2 turbos. We are running a mass air sensor, so it is very important that it sits within the proper diameter tube. And this one is 4 inches. He has to take 2 2.5 inch tubes, wire them together, and then join them into a 4-inch tube. And then we need a certain distance after the merge to make that sensor read correctly.
These tubes are 2.5 inches, and I gotta merge it to this 4-inch. We gotta form it and smash it around this bottle cap so we can get it to fit.
So on that harness, it comes with pre-wired for a switch panel. So technically, if you just put an on-off switch, it'll turn on and off the harness. But we didn't want to use a toggle, so we wired up the button. First click is ignition. Once you put your foot on the brake pedal, you hit it again, it'll start the car. Foot off the brake pedal, you hit it one more time, it'll just turn off. Fortunately, the guys at Direct Connection gave us a harness and it's pretty much plug and play. What we are adding on is our own display. So we are using this display, which will take a CAN signal from the ECU and directly transfer all the information to there. What's nice about this is it's a universal display and we're not stuck to a certain type of screen or a certain gauge. We can put anything we want on it. We like that part because we could customize it to just about any project. We're getting to that part of the build where it's all these little things and all the little things are slowly starting to get completed. So the intercooler is showing up tomorrow and that is the last piece of the intercooler system, right? It's all plumbed, ready to go. The radiator is plumbed, all ready to go. The box that you made,
It's magnificent, of course.
it is
Incredible.
it is a box that will,
It works.
that works. The wiring is pretty much situated. Bucky is making the harness for the dash right now.
Yep.
And we figured out where we're gonna put the dash.
We got to mount the ECUs, which I'm working on.
Transmission tunnel.
The never-ending story.
Yeah. Back to work. So the rear end just came back. John just dropped it off. I'm going to try to make some brake lines for the rear end because I'm going to join the 2 calipers and just kind of tee it right on top and a single brake line to the new pedal that was just installed. So saves us a little bit of time. While everyone's on the car, I could do this off the car.
It should be perfectly aligned.
Trying to figure out basically maximum tire size we can run on this thing. But basically what I'm doing is using this plumb bob to basically give me the fender line, the outside fender line, and I'll measure from the mounting surface to here, and that'll tell me how much room I have to the outside, and then I'll measure from the mounting surface to the inside, like the first obstruction on the frame side. Those 2 measurements combined will give us our total width, help us determine tire size, wheel size, all of the heretofore unknowns.
So I got the rear coilover mounts done, and now the coilovers are obviously installed, and now I've got to make the panhard bar to go from this point to somewhere right here. So I'm gonna take all this material out here, and I'm gonna plate that, and then I'm gonna make a bracket that's gonna connect to the bottom here and to the side. I'll put multiple points here so we can adjust for ride height. See how it's sways like that? And then we take this bolt here and we shove it in here, and it don't sway no more. Except a little, because that doesn't have all the right hardware in it. But yeah, look at it.
Problems. One of them is our drive shaft. Jacob came and measured the drive shaft yesterday, and we don't have the mating flange to bolt to the transmission. So today, I'm gonna send Kody out to the local pick and pull, see if he can find a drive shaft, we'll cut it off and use the front stub of it. Also, we ordered a accelerated pedal that never showed up. So while he's at the pick and pull, he's gonna look for some of those too. Off to the junkyard we go.
Hello. Can you sign up?
All right, so we're finally at the junkyard.
You're near the beach, so you never know what's gonna be rusted, what's gonna be cool. Right now we're looking for a 2008 Challenger, so we're gonna go ahead and find that. See if we can get it out. We're looking for the gas pedal first. Oh, these clips. Oh, it's so hot too. Awesome. Thanks, man. Have a good day. All right, so we got the pedal, okay? I got the pigtail too. Drive shaft, different. The flange is different. It's 3 and it goes to a guibo. So it's different, so we're gonna have to cut some.
That's the pedal.
It's gonna work, and it worked. Suppy doubted us. It's gonna work. It always works.
It has been a very long day. A lot got done today. Angelo finished up the transmission tunnel. It looks fantastic. We sent Kody out to the junkyard to find a part that got lost in the mail. He came back, successful job there. Bucky finished up all the wiring. Alex finished up all the boxes, the alternator bracket, and all the little things that he needed to get done. I finished up the brake lines and the steering. It's got fluids, it will steer, it's got a tunnel. Catch us on the next one while we start it.